UFO Buster Radio News, episode number 208. So I was actually messaging with Chris out of the other side of the pond over there, and he was asking about commercials and stuff. And yeah, you're going to hear a little bit extra in the commercial way of things because, you know, podcasting just does not pay. So there's got to be more commercials. But I like Chris, and he gave me some other ideas of things I can do. So we're going to keep those things in mind. But if you hear some commercials, guess what? It is how we pay for hosting around here. Actually, it's even how we're going to end up paying to get these interviews done this month. Eventually, somehow, some way, it's going to get done. But this episode is dedicated to the things that go fart on Mars. Because apparently things are looking up again in the world of methane. But before we get into that, just make sure that you follow the podcast on Facebook. The page is Manny Moonraker, UFO Buster Radio, on Twitter at UFO Buster Radio, and on Instagram at Manny Moonraker. And that is still dead in the water because Bugs, the UFO hunter, is busy doing his own farting and not really posing for pictures. But we'll get him on there soon enough. The other piece of sad news. If you enjoy seeing stories about the ISS, it might be coming down pretty soon because apparently the folks in India, when they blew up that satellite recently, the debris field, it's in the same orbit as your old ISS people. So the International Space Station might be coming in for some hard times. This could be that movie. What's that damn movie? But a guy was up in a space station and got hit by debris. Well, fuck, there was probably a shitload of movies like that. But, these guys in the ISS might have to abandon ship if a lot of that debris heads their way. Or we'll have Pareidolia Pete reporting that he sees a bunch of UFOs in the live feed from the ISS. You know what? We might just see an uptick on that. I guarantee probably a lot of people looking onto that are going to be seeing that happening a lot. Because, you know, those shiny objects, they look kind of crazy in space. And you start seeing aliens. True story. But let's get into the news. You know, I have a half a mind after we do this news report of maybe trying to call Big O live and see if he even answers. Chances are he won't. But that'd be a good test to make sure that things are working. But in the meantime, let's just talk about the craziness that's happening on Mars. The article title, which was, by the way, reported by the New York Times, is "Something on Mars is producing gas usually made by living things on Earth." In other words, something's farting around the Curiosity rover. There's methane. Methane is back in the news when it comes to Mars. And funny how year after year, they find a way to, minimize it. Oh, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough per billion for us to really think that it's something. Or no one's detecting it except for this one small area. Or it's too far away. Because, at one point, all the methane that was coming out of Mars was in the northern hemisphere. And our shitty-ass billion-dollar rover, it's in the goddamn equator. Now, who thought of that? Which rubber dicker came up with that idea to put it so damn far away from the fucking methane? But that's the way it is. That's the way they think about these things. They're the Poindexters, the guys with the pocket protectors, so you can't say shit to them. They know it all. So apparently, for about a decade and a half, we've been detecting freaking methane in the air. And not just in the air, we've been detecting it from space. The European Space Agency's Mars Express orbiter, a long time ago, well, shit, only 6 years, in 2013, detected that during the Mars summer, there was methane in space coming up from Mars. And a lot of it was detected from Gale Crater. Now, Gale Crater is 96 miles wide. and it's in the equator, like I just said. And that just happens to be where our buddies from NASA landed the Curiosity rover. And check this out. It's been since 2013, right, that the rover itself detected some methane. It's 96 miles. That little shitty-ass rover is not going to be able to, cover everything. But it's traveled enough over the last few years, like fucking 6 years since it first detected it. But the first time it detected it, they were like, nope, not enough to say it's anything significant. But apparently not this time. This time somebody just came over and basically crop dusted the rover because now it's picking up all kind of shit. And all in the vein of methane. And it looks like originally, when it detected it back in 2013, it was 0.7 parts per billion. So that's what they were saying, it's a bunch of shit. Forget about it. You guys are screwing around. Now, the story behind the scenes here is that apparently there was a seismic event on Mars that might have cracked open some permafrost somewhere. And apparently the rover is sniffing a lot of not-so-good stuff. And really, it turns out that the Curiosity mission was the one that actually kind of put some doubt on the fact that there could be any trapped gas anywhere and that it could be coming from living life forms. So it's a fascinating story, and I'm sure it's still evolving because, they got to check everything like 5,000 times, write like 3,000 papers, have like about another 5,000 people look at it, then approve it, and then find someone that's going to publish it. So let's see, we are on April 2nd, 2019. So about 2025, they'll decide that this was something of importance because that's the way it works with NASA and the scientists. But, by 2025, there is going to be methane because Elon Musk and SpaceX will be there by then. And they're really going to smell some methane coming from that part of wherever the hell they land. Because I'm sure that once they hit the planet, that they're going to have a lot of gas coming out of them. Because they will be scared shitless when they get there. Because it's not, you're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. You're going to be pretty much fucked over there. Because you're not coming back to the planet Earth. You are stuck like Chuck. It's a fascinating story, and it's going to continue to be evolving. We're going to find out, I'm sure, more about the seismic event that created all this methane. And the funny thing about this story here, which is actually linked in the description for you, and there's probably a good 50, 60 other stories roaming around the internet right now. What's fascinating about this story is that they say that it takes methane a pretty long time. It has a very long half-life before it is destroyed compared to many other gases. So they don't understand why this methane just appears and disappears so quickly. So, it might be something else. Maybe Mars has its own version of methane, its own isotope or some shit like that, to which we might be getting introduced to in some way, somehow. But that's the story. So, you know what? I think I'm really excited about the idea of calling Big O, but this is a live episode, 972-290-1329. I didn't announce it in the beginning because I didn't know how long this report was going to take, but easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. So I'm going to play a song here just because I can, and then we'll see if I can dial up Big O. And see if he even answers, because I don't know. Let's go with some Lost in Space. What an exciting song. That makes you want to go to sleep in fucking space. That's about it. All right, so I've got the info here, and let's see if we can find Big O somewhere out there in La La Land. I mean, who knows what the fuck he's doing? He's a trucker, by the way. For those of you who have not tuned in a while, Big O is a trucker, and he's out there trucking, I guess, if you can call it that. I don't know. But in the meantime, don't forget to share this with your friend. Share UFO Buster Radio with everyone do you think that might have an interest. And listen, I don't do things professionally. I'm just a fucking podcaster. If I wanted to be a commentator on a professional show, I'd fucking do that. That is my podcast. That's the way I roll around here. I do shit the way the fuck I want to. So let's call Big O. Chances are he'll be cursing up a storm. That's the way he rolls. Here we go. And I wonder if you guys can actually hear this. Probably not. Yeah, let's bring it up. Oh, it's ringing. I wonder if you guys can hear that. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Big O. Answer your damn phone. I'm sending a mind meld to see if he answers it. So far, it's not working. Reaching Big O.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging
no fucking Big O there. All right, so Big O's not there, folks. I tried my best. It just did not happen. Fuck my life. I'm going to get him on here this week no matter what. Little turd buster. Anyway, that's the episode for today. We struck out. There's no one in the chat box to call in. Come on, people. Somebody call in. I could probably share this, but fuck it. It's a lost cause right now. I thank you guys for listening and for always listening. And for those of you who just came in, catching the shows and catching up, I appreciate that also. Thank you very much for that. It's a hard life being a podcaster. Who am I kidding? This shit is fun as fuck. Well, hey, it's time to sign up. I'm going to check out with the old Turkey song. Why not? For the folks in Turkey, I'm still listening and watching you guys listen. Thank you again, and ciao.